Happy first day of March, everyone. This is Vintage Vinny, bringing you all my eBay sales update for the month of February 2019. I know I've been MIA these last about a month. Just been really busy and wasn't really able to go out thrifting a lot this past month just due to a lot of stuff going on, and everyone needed their cars. I'm still looking for one, as you guys have heard me say a million times. But yeah, I was still able to sell some stuff, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. So let's jump right in. So the first thing that I managed to sell was something that I got out of my collection, because as you all know, I upgraded and I got a better version, or I should say one that's in better shape. So this one, if you don't know, this is the more desirable of the two trays featuring this girl. This is from what I've seen in Petretti's Guide and through online, this tray is called the Girl with the Wind in Her Hair. This has the solid background, meaning it is a darker blue as opposed to the green one, which is the screened background. I remember I picked this up here on eBay for $12.50. I just scrolled through all of my purchase history through a couple of years and I found it. So I paid $12.50 for this, held on to it, waited till I got one in better shape, and I decided to resell this one, and I got it $40 flat, no offers on it. I was really happy with that because that was a really good return on investment. Next item that sold happens to be something that I'm pleasantly surprised is worth some decent money. The 90s Furby Tiger Electronic toys. I guess tiger stuff is pretty popular and collectible. Why? I don't know. But yeah, I paid $1 for this one. Weirdest thing, it has the tags on it. I put batteries in it, and it made one noise when you walk past it, and then it doesn't make any more noises. Strangest thing. But funny enough, the same day I found this one, I found another one that was in the box, and they wanted $4.50, which was still pretty decent. And I mean, I put batteries in that one, and every time I moved my hand or I walked by it, it would make a noise, and it started driving me crazy. So I'm surprised that people still collect them even if they don't work. So yeah, I paid $1 and I sold for 20. I was happy with that. Alright, this next item was actually something that I had intended on buying to use, but one of the reasons I didn't like this jacket was because it does not have a hood on it. I'm very weird about that. Like, all of my jackets and all my sweatshirts have got to have a hood on them. I don't know what it is. I think it's just been that way my whole life. I don't like anything like this that is not hooded. Anyway, so originally this, like I said, came from Marshall's. We were originally asking $129.99 for it. I waited till the Purge event. If you guys don't know what that is, that's the yellow tag clearance event. I bought this last year, and I just didn't like the way it fit, and I waited till this year, and I got an even better one by Nautica. So, and it has a hood, and it's extra padded. It's a thick jacket. So yeah, anyway, back to this. So I waited till yellow tag to get a new jacket at that time because the one that I've had for years and years, the zipper decided to break. So I couldn't wear it anymore. So I jumped on this one. It was, like I said, $129.99 originally, and then it got marked down to $49. I had the 20% off week for associates, so I only paid like $39. So basically I made $1, which I was fine. I got my money back and plus an extra $1. That's not terrible. And the guy left me positive feedback and said it's great. So, win. Another really cool item that if I see them, I buy them, or if my dad doesn't have one in his collection, I'll give it to him, are the old razors. Now, there are only certain ones that will sell for certain amounts of money. Like you find a gem razor or any other weird brand, they don't typically tend to sell for that much. The Gillette adjustables are the ones that sell for the most, and I have one that sits in one of my old jars, which I will eventually show you all. Anyway, I picked this up for $5, and I sold it for $29.99. I did have to put this through a sonic cleaner several times just to make sure that I got all the grime off that I possibly could, because this thing was pretty gross when I found it. So, as you can see, There's still a little bit of grime on that, and of course I mentioned it. But yeah, it's much cleaner than what it was. This was a more recent pickup. I don't know how old it is exactly, but I thought it was probably from the 90s or maybe even early 2000s. I featured it in one of my haul videos. But I thought it was really cool. I think I paid $1 to $1.50 for this. And I'm sure the person that bought it from me either bought it for their, like, maybe a little restaurant, like an ice cream shop, or maybe their kitchen is themed with different soda products. I don't know, but I just thought it was cool, and I knew someone else would too. As you can see, there were scratches all over the face, and of course I did mention that. But I'm sure once you hang it up, you're not going to notice them. Or hopefully they don't. Back to Coke serving trays. I bought this in a lot of 3 here on eBay for $21.50. So that's $7.16 a piece. So I sold this one for $30. So basically I paid $21.50 for 3 of them. Made a little over like $7 and some change in profit on just this one. As you can see, really faded, but the border is still in good shape. It is in the authentic old 1910 tray. So I'm sure someone bought this just as a placeholder until they get one in better shape. But I was really satisfied with getting the $30. Now I still have the 2 Betty Girl trays that came with it. I'm thinking if I can sell the one tray that was in better condition, I'm just going to throw the other one in, because even if I do, that's still $20 each. So $60 from $21.50 is a pretty good return on investment, I think. Now, I'm sure a lot of you probably think that Tupperware stuff is not as valuable. Some of the stuff is, like the mugs, if you have a good number of them and you decide to lot them up. So I found these at one of my Goodwills. I paid $4 for the whole set. And they're all matching colors. They have matching coasters and cups. So I managed to sell this set for $15. I did take a best offer, and I thought that was relatively reasonable. So I was like, what the hey? And these are in, like, new condition. So here's all the coasters, which I think also can be used as lids, like if you're having soup or something. So they were pretty clean, excluding this one, which had some marks in it, which I didn't want to attempt to take out in fear of ruining it. So these were really, really clean. I was really, really satisfied with getting $15 from 4. Now, if you all remember last month, somebody had purchased this same fragrance from me, but returned it because it was for women, not men. And I just went ahead and took it back, because I'm like, of course, you probably thought it was cologne or like something that was a more masculine scent. And so the person emailed me back after I said, you know, I just wanted to apologize and tell him I'm sorry that I sent you something that didn't satisfy you. So I said to him, you know, I thought it was for men because usually eau de toilette is for men and not for women. But then, you know, working at Marshall's, I see that eau de toilette can be made for both men and women, which before that I had never known. So anyway, the person who bought this from me originally responded and said, oh, it's no problem. I thought the same thing too, which was nice. So I went ahead and I relisted it after I got it, refunded him his money, of course. And it resold for the same asking price, $19.99. Now this was a fun little piece that I picked up at Walmart, not thinking it was going to be worth hardly anything. I paid $3 for it, and I sold it for $10, so not a huge profit, but still turning a single digit into a double digit. A low single digit to a double digit, which is pretty good. It's a party pack. You get napkins, and you get some plates from the Child's Play series. It is one of my favorite series personally, although I only like the first, the second, third, and fourth. I think anything past Bride of Chucky is awful. I watched the newest ones that were just released, and personally, I'm not a fan. Now these, let me tell you, I've probably had these things for probably 3 or 4 years, and I don't know why I waited so long to list them. I did buy these with the original box, but the box was beaten to hell. It was so bad. So I just went ahead and took all the parts out and just decided to list the tracks and all the other pieces that came with it. So I thought these were kind of like an Evel Knievel, like bicentennial kind of racetrack. The box did say 1974, and I paid $4.50 for the whole set. There were no cars in there, unfortunately. There were a ton of those little connectors that you see right there, the purple and white things, and then these three pieces, which I have no idea exactly what they do. Only flaw that I saw on these railroad tracks are that one little, I think it's either a melt mark or just some kind of flaw in the manufacturing. Of course, I mentioned it. So anyway, I paid $4.50 and I sold the set for $20. I'm sure someone's having a blast with them right now. This is another arbitrage pickup that I was pleasantly surprised sold. I've had them forever. It's a Galaxy Tab S 10.5-inch book cover in the titanium bronze color. These at Office Max retailed for $69.99, and they went on clearance to $4. That's more than 90% off. And of course I couldn't sell it for the $70, but I had this at $29.99, and then I decided to drop it $10, and finally someone bought it. It took forever. Sometimes I feel like my retail arbitrage items take forever to sell than the stuff I thrift. But that's no big deal. Anyways, paid $4 and sold for $20. Buyer paid shipping. Had no problem with that. Now, in the last few years, I've stopped buying like the Wii games and things like that because most of the time I will send these into Amazon. But the problem is there's so many of them out there. There's so many different options, so many different conditions. Sometimes it's just not worth my time. Unless it's a certain name. Like Super Smash Brothers, I went ahead and picked up. I think it was $1 or $2, and I sold it for $15. Which was good because it was in like new condition. Although I did make some pretty good money on some of my games that I've picked up in the last couple of years. But hey, everybody's tastes change, everybody's niche and what they buy changes. But hey, I'll take it for what it is. Now I found two of these at my Salvation Army for 75 cents, and they kind of brought back a bit of memories to Christmas time. I remember probably early 2000s into the mid 2000s, my grandmother gave my uncle and my mom and dad one of these, and it had a $100 bill in it. And what you had to do is there's like a little metal ball in there, and you have to solve the maze, like get to the end of the maze, and it should pop open, and then you get the $100 bill. And I vaguely remember messing around with it after my parents got the $100 bill out of there. So I paid 75 cents for this. It's brand new. Why did I have it listed as used? Interesting. I'll have to change that on the other listing. Anyway, it's brand new. I sold it for $10 from 75 cents. That's pretty good. And the last item that concluded my eBay sales for this month, which was yesterday, was this lot of 27 pinup arcade cards. Some of these I bought in a huge lot and kept most of them, sold the ones I didn't like. Some of them were ones that I had that I just wasn't crazy about, or that I had duplicates of, so I was like, what the hey. So basically I paid off most of them. Some of them I'm into $14 because I bought a whole bunch of them for like $44. And then there were a couple that I bought, like these two, the Mutoscope ones that I had. They came with another one that I wanted, and the condition was bad. I'm not into the 6-panel cards. But yeah. So again, 27 cards, and I sold it for $30. Buyer paid shipping, of course. And that concludes the February 2019 eBay sales update. Be sure and give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when new videos are posted. All the links to my social media accounts are down below as well. Instagram is where I'm most currently active. Thank you so much for watching.